Welcome to August Energy Update. My name's Hayley Barkler, and each month I tune in with the universal energies to see what guidance they've got for us. Now, this month we're running on 4 themes, which all fall under the main agenda of self. So they are reconnection, self-exploration, gratitude, and honesty. If you've been following me for a little while, you will know that we did an activation challenge last month, and I did say that it felt like there was going to be a lot more learning coming through and education schooling. So that's definitely the case. So I would recommend potentially getting a journal or a workbook to house all this work that we're going to be doing. And it gives something obviously that you can reflect on, but just to keep it all in one nice little space, because I feel like it's going to be needed in the next 6 months. Okay, and just another thing, obviously there's a lot of channelers out there that are focusing on the current world events and also galactic events and things like that. And as I've said, it does feel like there's been a little shift in what I've done. So I think this is a really nice complement to a lot of those channelers as well, which I love watching it myself. So hopefully they can work hand in hand. And this is really about building yourself up. And they've used the term throughout the channeling that this is about building our control center. It's about really getting in touch with who we are as in our physicality, but also on a more soulful, spiritual, energetic level as well. And if this is your first time watching my content, please subscribe or jump onto my website and sign up to my blog, and you can be in the running to win a personal channeled reading each month. Okay, so let's get into it. Reconnection. So this is really about priority of self being a key this month, and they're saying that we as humans in our very busy lives, for most of us, that we can get swept up into situations that actually don't avail any benefit to our souls. And this is about stopping in August. They also mentioned that the energies of June and July were a lot more chaotic, and they were bigger energies, bigger impact, where August is going to have a bit more of a sublime sort of subtle feel to it, and it's great for working on the self under those sort of energy fields. So they really want us to reconnect into self and ask ourselves these questions. So this is where your journal will come in handy. What is it that you wish to become? What is it that will feed and nourish your soul into the next millennium? And what do you long to express and experience in the face of freedom of choice? In writing this down or journaling these desires and these feelings, it's actually creating an imprint into the matrix of this next timeline that we're creating at the moment. And they're saying we really want to put our best foot forward into that space. So by reconnecting into self and really asking ourselves those questions, we're not allowing life to happen to us. We're actually being a lot more conscious in that creative process. Okay, so that's where we're just going to start. This gives us a bit of a flavour for the month. The second theme for August is self-exploration. So they're saying that humanity, as a generalised whole, we come down into our earthly experience and we're sort of born into this life, and then we just progress through it, and we're not consciously aware that we came down with the tools of creation as well, so that although we chose that life at another point in time before coming through, we've forgotten that, and therefore we've forgotten the tools that we should be using to create the best version of that. So this is about really getting into understanding how big we are, and that guided meditation will take us through really connecting in with our bodies, understanding that extremity of the physical form, and then dropping that. And what happens, what arises, what comes out of when we are not our body any longer. And that's what really helps. And they're saying that's what's really going to take us to that next level. So if they talk about the control center of our being and our body, that this is sort of like that first stage of really looking at the signal that can come from that control center and understanding how vast we are as beings. So they're saying that self-exploration is fundamental in our ability to remember where we were derived from and what we arrived with, and that, you know, being out of our body but being in our being is our sort of way through to that. So that is going to come up on the guided meditation, so look out for that. It'll be posted on all social media in the next week or so, hopefully next week. Okay, so the third area that we're going to focus on is gratitude. And they're saying, yes, gratitude has been done to death, but we need not underestimate the actual force that gratitude holds, and its power and its privilege that we have as in our sort of creative endeavors. So they're saying that it's both a qualitative and a quantitative sort of aspect of us. And you know, the feeling that we get when we have gratitude for something, be that, you know, in our life, or it could be, you know, a nature, you know, it could be the blue sky, or that there's sunshine today. It doesn't, you know, there's so many things to be grateful for. By having that feeling of joy or thanks or honor or respect, it actually helps us with our own self-belief, and it helps us with the belief in others. So it's really powerful. It emits waves of positive potential frequency out of our beings. Now then we look on the sort of quantitative side of that, and that is that equation of in and out. So the more positive frequency we emit, the more that we can then attract back to us. And they actually say without gratitude, our signal is duller, and that sort of that reverberation of us and our life remains closer. Our range is not as, you know, our signal's not as strong. So they're saying that this is simplified physics, just so that we can get the feeling of what that actually means. But when we don't have gratitude for the beautiful things in our life, that our positive frequency can't be as strong, can't be emitted out as much, and therefore the return result of that isn't as strong either. They're saying that being grateful in all manners, be that for your luscious locks or for the love of your pet or the blue sky, that any type of gratitude that you offer out is actually filling your own cup. And they want to use that metaphor for this month's task. So grab a cup and maybe have some little pieces of paper that are nearby, and each day, ideally, write down something that you're grateful for. Now it might be one thing or 10 things. They haven't been specific about the requirements on that. And at the end of the month, tip that cup out. They said fill that cup with your favourite liquid, and they will not judge. And take a time to really pause and read through every one of those things that you're grateful for. Now, they have promised us that will be like an extra kick in the love frequency that we receive back by actually taking that moment and taking that time to reflect on the gratitude that we've offered to the world in that month. So they've said, which I think is really quite cute, they've said, think of it as a workout for your heart. Okay, so let's get into the fourth and final theme for this month, which is honesty. And they're saying this is one of the bigger issues that humanity has to grasp. And they're not talking about big fat lies. They're saying they are obvious and they're easily controlled and contained if we so choose. They're talking about the little white lies. And they say they weasel into our minds and they burrow themselves deep, and they're the ones that we tell ourselves, not so much the ones that we tell others. So they would like us this month to get your journals ready and write on these, I think, 5 questions that we've got. So they'd like us to be honest with ourselves. Am I happy? Am I a good person? Do I respect myself? Can I live in allowance with my truth on full display? Now, in other words, that means, am I comfortable being wholly, truly, solely myself in a public arena? And will I ever be everything that I came here to be? And at the end of those questions, why? That's our focus for honesty with ourselves for that month. And that might be something that you leave towards the end of the month, having gone through some of the other tasks. Might be something you feel like you really want to tackle straight up. That's it for this month. I really hope that you can take the time out to do some work with yourself and on yourself, and we start seeing the benefits of that as the year progresses. So again, they're saying this is homing work. These are little quests that you've been given to really cement your connection to your own control center as we move into sort of higher states of consciousness and understanding as the year goes by. They said that they send us their love and they for this most gracious time of the year, and they have mentioned that things are going to get a little bit more hectic, and we really need to have built this great solid foundation of self-alignment so that we'll be able to ride that storm through. So think of this as a bit of preventative measure work as the year goes on. Okay. So have a great month. I will definitely get that guided meditation out for everyone in the next week, and we will see what else comes through. Okay, see ya.